Hello, long time no see. Good to be out here riding today, and we have the perfect excuse. Dirt Don, I have a question.
Yeah.
How can something be so similar and be so different?
I would put it this way. Nothing is changed, but everything is changed.
Yeah. So this is the fourth platform that Royal Enfield is bringing out in India. It started with the cast iron, then went to the AVL.
AVL, correct?
Yeah. Then 12 years back the UCE.
UCE started.
And now we have the what's called the J.
J platform.
The J platform.
That's the most refined platform as of now.
It is the most refined. I think the basic characteristic has remained the same. 350 long stroke single.
And the retro looks holds good, still the same.
Yeah, the engine looks retro, even now it looks retro.
Today I had a beautiful experience riding both the UC and the J. And wow, did I get a difference in riding experience?
Yeah, massive difference between the two. Massive difference between the two.
We did around 80 kilometers of riding today on both the motorcycles. We interchanged and we really got to know how the motorcycle behaves. The UC served its purpose, and it's a very tested and tried, reliable motorcycle.
Yeah, and it's time that it gets replaced.
Yeah,
it's done its duty. It's gotten old. It somehow managed to make it into BS6. I think it's at the end. It's already end of its life cycle. Right time the J has come.
Right time J has come. Maybe it could have come a little earlier, but it's come.
I am told that because of the pandemic, it kind of got delayed. Otherwise, probably last year it should have been launched.
Maybe,
Anyway, we rode the Meteor with the same platform, so the engine is not a surprise. It's no great surprise for either of us. It's exactly the same, but for, I'm told, a few tweaks here and there to adjust for the airbox and some fueling and things like that. But I don't think that's really perceptible. I didn't feel anything different from the Meteor engine to this engine. It's the same. What was the biggest difference was how the bike feels, handles, behaves. That was like chalk and cheese. There is absolutely no comparison between the two. When I swapped bikes, when I started riding this, I thought to myself, was this the bike I was riding some years ago? Really? It's a huge difference. It's a huge step. Yeah, riding it here was again chalk and cheese. This was on the UC. Once I get past 80, there's not much I can see in the mirrors. So if I need to know what's behind me, I need to pull the clutch in. It stops, and then I say, okay, let it go. Then it's worse at night. When I used to ride the UC, rarely, we seldom ride on the highway at night, but whenever we used to, when I look in the mirror, I would see probably 6 or 7 four-wheelers behind me. And I would say there's a lot of cars or something following me. I need to be careful.
But when you turn around,
when I pull the clutch in,
it becomes one.
It becomes just one pair of headlights. So that's how crazy it was. But then I guess that had its time and its place, and it did well at that time. Now it's time for
now it's
change.
Time for change. Yeah. Okay, one of the main things which I noticed when I swapped the motorcycle, the very refined and smooth ride. I remember when I went to Leh Ladakh on my UC.
TBTS.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the waterman talk, and it used to be take me wherever I want, whatever gradient, it just pull along.
Low speed, easy to get out of trouble in low RPM and low speed.
I'm very happy that Royal Enfield has kept that waterman torque.
Yeah.
So, and with a refined engine and retro look, so it's a good package.
Yeah,
so
it's sort of best of
all.
It's good. It's refined, it's modern, and retaining its character of having that phenomenal bottom end. Yeah, really appreciate the fact that the UK Tech Centre. I think this is a product of the UK Tech Centre.
Yeah.
So,
And it shows.
and it shows, yeah. And it shows. So what remains the same and what has changed? I know what remains the same. There's one item that has remained the same. I'll come to it in the end. Now we can. There's so many things that changed.
It's a long list.
I made a list of it here. You know, obviously we can start with the most obvious. The engine. Engine is different. The frame is different.
Frame is different. Correct.
The tires are different. They're one size more. Then the suspension is different. The forks are bigger. The rear shock is better.
Seats are better. I mean, different.
Seats are different.
It's got a spring-loaded front seat.
Yeah, and it's a much better cushion on that. Much more comfortable on that motorcycle than on this spring-loaded seat. The tank has changed. The side boxes have changed. The headlamp casing has changed. The mudguards are different. The lights are different. The instruments are different. The engine sound is different. The exhaust sound also is different. And the exhaust itself is different. Yeah. Foot pegs are different, handlebar is different, the controls are all changed.
Controls are different. It's got a rotary.
Switches, the levers are different, the braking system is different. The handle lock, obviously the performance is much better overall, handling is better, the ergonomics is definitely better. It's not a major change, it still retains that typical 60s, 70s posture.
Yeah.
More comfortable. This I felt a bit weird on it, not used to it. I had a Classic many years ago. The only thing of it, whenever I braked, I felt like I would end up on the tank. I literally sit on the tank cap. So I was sitting too much on the bike and I would slide off. This had a much more different and more confident, inspiring posture. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left that's the same. The stand is different.
The tail lamp has been changed.
Yeah, all the lights are different. All the lights are different. So it's amazing that everything has changed and everything remains the same. They must have gone through a lot of pain to make it look the way it looks and not change it so much. And what is same?
Yeah, that's it.
I could only find one item that was exactly the same. The mirrors.
Oh, okay.
The mirrors are the same. I think they've also launched a lot of different colors, new variants.
Yeah, there are 5 variants in this motorcycles and 11 colors.
11 colors in
11
total, yeah, that's what
colors.
I was told. I've seen just 2 or 3 of them. I haven't seen the others.
That chrome red is fantastic.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree with you. The most beautiful looking motorcycle is that chrome red. The last time a motorcycle looked so good to me was the Machismo 500.
Okay.
That had that elegance, something regal and royal about it. This chrome red drool piece.
It's totally retro. You can get transported back to those ages.
Yeah, 60s, 70s. Yeah, I had to close my mouth when I was walking around that chrome red. Beautiful motorcycle. It's probably, it's by far, if left to me a choice, I would pick up the chrome red. One more area where massive improvement has happened is in the small detail of alignment, visual alignment. The center line, there are a few components and there are a few components on either side. So I always prefer it. Things have to be very precise. The lever has to be exactly the same height on both sides. The mirror has to be in the same position. I spend a lot of time adjusting that on my motorcycle. So one thing on this is, you have the tank cap, which is center line. Then you have the stem, that clamp for the handlebar. Then the meter. Then you have that headlamp casing, that pointy thing on it.
Okay.
And then we have a screw in front of that for the headlight ring. They're okay, nothing wrong, but
the UC's got a wavy part.
it's not exactly in line. Not exactly in line. And the mirror mount on the right side is here, and it's at this angle. The mirror mount on the left side is here and it's on this angle.
I always wonder why
one mirror is here, one mirror is here.
Why is that so?
Yeah. Anyway, that's how it was. This is got everything spot on.
Straight line and the symmetry is perfect.
I was so happy. I think it's an OCD, for me. I sit on it. Both the mirrors start at the same place. So I can set both exactly. It's like a mirror image of each other. Sits beautifully. The levers are lovely levers. They are the same. The brake lever and the clutch lever are different. The shape and the profile is different on this. Whereas on this, they have got it exactly. It's like a mirror image. It's like the lever flipped out onto this side. So that way they have done a lot of work on the attention to little things.
The fit and finish is very good in this.
Yeah.
It's got that premium touch.
No, they have done a hell of a lot of work. They have done a lot of work. I'm sure it will appeal to Royal Enfield fans even more. It will strengthen that core, the base even more, and attract a few more people possibly. It didn't have performance per se. Not that this is a great performer or acceleration, but it's able to do that 90-100 without stressing, feeling stressed or vibrating the hell out of the rider's arms and seat and other parts of the body. So now this is a serious model that people will take seriously who are considering the Java, who are considering the CB 350. Now this has got some performance and standards to compare. This was not really in that position to compare. So good for Royal Enfield, good for customers. Normally the non-Royal Enfield enthusiasts would buy the Meteor, the Himalayan or the Interceptor. This was not one of the choices. This is a hardcore Royal Enfield fan only will buy this.
He'll go for the classics,
This, maybe somebody who's not really having any great love or passion for this brand will find this also pretty okay. I'm happy that we all have more choices today. Looking back, I wonder how I made it to Goa on a UC. It took me 14 hours, I think. And then we got faster with the Himalayan, and we got even faster with the twins. So now, yes, I think, okay, let's not bash this thing anymore. It's all right. It's done a good job for so many years.
Bosky, few people were asking how is it in comparison to Meteor, the new J?
I've seen it, a lot of people making that comparison between Meteor and this.
Okay.
I won't compare the two. I think they're very completely different motorcycles. If people have to choose between the two, I would say just ride it and decide what works best for them. There is no comparison. It is like comparing Akshay Kumar to Salman Khan. They are very different actors, different characters both in their professional life and personal life. How they project themselves are very different. The movies are different. So you cannot really compare the two. And to put it more in a more entertaining way, it is like comparing Vidya Balan to Katrina Kaif.
Oh my God.
So they are two completely different women. How can you choose between these two? What tickles what tickles you works for you. Right. So that's how Meteor and the new Classic, there is I won't have that problem of choosing between the two. It's very clear. I would choose neither because, like I said, I'm not fond of this style of motorcycle, nor am I fond of the cruiser forward foot peg controls. I have no preference per se between the two. I haven't thought about it. So, for that comparison, I don't think it is it's a really a logical comparison.
Okay.
I would only say, I would ask whoever has that doubt, please ride. See what you like, what works. It's different for everybody. It doesn't mean what works for you should work for me. Performance, handling, characteristics, the mileage, maintenance, price, they're all, I think, about the same.
All the same.
Yeah. So comes right down to personal choice. So ride it, understand it, ride it on the same road, ride it back to back would be the best thing to do. Take out the Meteor, go for a spin, come back, immediately take the Classic, go on the same road and come back at the same time. So it's for each to his own, and they have to decide for themselves.
See, like, I think Royal Enfield had promised a new model every quarter. I think with the COVID, this got delayed and it's got launched now.
Yeah.
What do you think might come in the future?
I think Bullet will be the next with this engine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Bullet or Electra or whatever it's called. I think that should come with this, and then a lot of spy shots and all that circulating of that Himalayan lookalike Scram.
The Scram, yeah. With the lower
Scram. Then Hunter, something that looks like the CB 350.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. And then of course the big daddy of all, the 650 cruiser. So lot of stuff happening.
Fingers.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. I don't think we have ever been so pampered and spoiled for choice in terms of brands and motorcycles and the type of style of motorcycles. So it's a good time to be a motorcyclist. It's the best time to be a motorcyclist. 10 years back, I remember we hardly had any choice. The only big motorcycle was a Classic 500. That's about as big as you could buy. The next was what we could buy legally was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago was the Harley. So that was the only street legal. Legal. Grey markets were available. So big capacity bike was a Harley, which I did buy because there was nothing else at that time. At that time, yeah, enjoyed it for a few years, and then yes, moved to adventure style motorcycles. And once that adventure bug bit, there is no going back. There is no going back to riding any other style of motorcycle. So that's it for today with the new Classic 350. I hope you found whatever we said and chatted about useful to help make your choice of buying a good motorcycle for yourself. Until next time, take care.